Hi everybody, this is Tina with Rehatch Designs. Hope everybody's doing well today. I am here for our Stash Busters Sundays. I might make it Saturdays, I'm not sure. But anyway, at this point I wanted to kind of show you guys what I am doing, and I'm in the midst of finishing things for February, and I forgot to say that in my little planning video that I put out on Wednesday, that for the month of February what I'm going to try and do is I am going to try and finish projects. I think I said that in another video before, but I am definitely going to try and get some things finished, in addition to finish reorganizing my craft room. I've decided on my craft room reorganization that I'm just going to not put a time limit on it. I'm just going to, take however long it takes me. But anyway, I wanted to show you something that I've been doing, and this, I love paper, and anybody that's doing journals probably love paper, and you have a ton of paper, I am sure, a lot of beautiful paper that you picked out, but you're not really using it for whatever reason. These are a lot more solids in this pad, although we have some bright, beautiful, it's beautiful paper, don't get me wrong, but I don't use that much of this in my journals, so to speak. And also, how much you can only use so much of it. So I am gonna make a conscious effort this year to try and use some of this. This is some beautiful Vicky Bouton paper, but it tends to be very bright and stuff that I don't normally use. Like, these patterns are great, but I don't normally use things like this, but I'm drawn to them, and I'm going to use these for different things. But today what I want to do is kind of show you guys just what happens when you take those patterns like that. Here are some butterflies that I've done from all these different kinds of bright papers. Well, that's one I embossed, but and these are like probably papers I wouldn't normally use, and when you cut them out, they make these really beautiful patterns. You don't have to use solids or white and color them or whatever. I think they just turn out really fun. And what I did, I'll show you all the different ones that I did. And what I did is I had taken a whole bunch of die cuts and on a lot of different papers. And I'm not saying I wouldn't ever use these, but I need to use more of them for sure. A lot of these I probably, might not use. And I cut them all out, okay, with my die cuts. And then, I keep them in these little containers. I bought these on Amazon. And I just have them, and then that way when I want to use them I can. And I have an Empress machine, and usually what I do whenever I'm going to do this is I will just spend 2-3 hours just cutting out a ton of them. That way they're all done. And I mean, you can do borders, anything, and then also do this with scraps. You don't have to use whole pieces of paper, but I mean, these can be used on so many different things. I did the colorful ones because I'm doing some boho stuff, and this will come in really handy. Stuff like these feathers. This is a Tim Holtz feather die. And, that is such a great way to use up all of your scraps and to use up your paper. And not just 12 by 12 paper, any paper. I mean, any size. that you can, you know, use die cuts with. I've got this one. I mean, these are things I probably would not normally use. So the great thing about it is that now I have all these wonderful dies. Let me see if I can pull some more out and show you that you might be interested in that are different. Oh, one just fell. You know, here, I love these. And these are just like little pockets. So, and those work so great in my boho journals. Now, you don't have to do just boho. You could do any kind. If it's a bright color, you can tone it down easily. Here are some other ones. Just trying to give you an idea of the kinds of things that you can do. One thing too is don't worry about so much the pattern, because like on a lot of these, when you cut them out, you can't even really see a pattern. Okay, there's just, you know, hints of what was there. So then that, you know, and these little things may not seem like much, but they add texture, they add color, they add interest, and I love to use die cuts in my journals. Okay, these, it's like a little corner thing, so look at that. And the other thing is like, okay, so this was kind of a shiny metallic type thing. Well, when you cut it out like this, it doesn't look bad at all, okay? You know, you have to realize that that little pattern you're not really going to see. And I actually like to use that metallic type stuff with these little pieces because it tends to look really cool. The other thing is don't, let's see if I can find, don't forget about little things that you can use. Show you all this. This is all, like these are just little flowers. And this was all scraps of stuff. Like if you want to make flowers, okay, these are all kind of mixed, but if you just put them on there, you know, this is a great way to use all those little pieces up, okay, is to use die cuts with them. And a lot of these honestly are not things that I would probably necessarily pick out, but when you put them all together, they turn out really cool. So, and as I said, when I'm doing my boho journals, I love using stuff with a lot of color. These are like little corner things that, you know, you just put a couple of these on something and they really look so cool. And it doesn't take much to, you know, to really make your page look pretty. Here's just these little I guess they're little doily things. You know, so one thing too, and I'll show you that real quick. You can easily, and I'll just take a couple of bright ones out so you can see what you can do with that. Put that up. This is a bunch of butterflies. If you have punches, you don't have to just use die cuts. I have butterflies, I have flowers, I have all kinds of fun stuff in there that you can use. I have hearts cut out. I mean, just all kinds of things that you can, you know, take all of your kind of normally very bright stuff that you might not use normally. Now, I will have to say, this is not a paperweight. This is a cardstock weight. So, I think it works better. on your punches and things, and also on your die cuts to have that weight. I'll show you that one too. And then don't forget things like tabs and little labels and circles and all that kind of stuff, because that stuff comes in handy. And if you use that pattern paper, you'd be surprised how often you might use those. Now, what I do, if it's really bright and I don't want it quite that bright, here I'll do it on this one because I think it'll show up better. I will just take my vintage photo or whatever kind of distress ink that I have, and I'll go across it and just kind of you know, just give it a little bit of vintage photo on there, and what it'll do is it'll tone it down some. Do that on all of these and you'll see it really makes it look a little bit more vintage. It tones down the color a little bit, and if you're trying to and I actually do that on all of my boho journals because I want them to look a little bit like they've been collected over time. And see the difference here. Let me take the one that, so that's how they look after you do that. And then let me show you, that was the same paper. So that's the difference. That's how bright it was before, and that's how it is now. So you can have those really bright papers that maybe you wouldn't normally use, and just, you know, take them and make them a little bit more vintage, and it's surprising how good they'll look. So let me just kind of show you. I know this seems weird, but okay, so we've got all these papers here, and some of the best papers to use are ones with patterns, because you think, well, gosh, what am I going to do with that? Like, let's say, for instance, even this one. Okay. Or, I mean, you probably would think immediately, gee, you know, that might not look good. Or even, okay, say, for instance, this one has birds on it. Okay, so you might not normally think, well, gee, I can use that for my die cut, and it won't, you know, it'll look weird because it'll be part of a bird. But if your pattern is small enough, or if your die cut, you know, is small enough, I'm just going to cut pieces off of here that are, let's see, 2 inches. Is 2 inches too big? No, I think that'll be about right. I don't know. I'm going to measure real quick because this is, I'm going to use my smaller one for this, so it's a little bit bigger than that. We'll go 2.5. How about that? And the thing is that when you do that, you'll be surprised how cool it looks. And that's why you want to go through your stash and look for things that will work for this. And I actually at first would always use like a, you know, just a solid color, and I realized this actually, I think, turns out better. So anyway, I am going to take these, cut them in half, approximately. So all I would do with these is pick something. Let's try. Okay, so I have these butterflies, and this is the Thinlits. And I use these a lot, so let's try these. All right, and then I don't remember which plates I need to use with this, but I'm just going to get them out and then see. I made my own little shim with this. As I said, I have an Empress and some other things, and usually what I do is I just put these on there. I don't remember which one's go to which, but I'm going to go ahead, and I bet I can fit 3 on there. So I think I used this one. All right, so let's do that. And you will see that even this one that has the solid in there, you can really not even tell what it was. But the ones that really work really well are these. I don't think I brought my little brush thing. I'll have to look and see. Let's see if I have that. Yeah, I do. I don't think I have my little spongy thing, but if you look at this, you can't even tell what the pattern was, okay? And so here's a paper that I realistically I'm never going to use. This goes on top of it, so if you wanted to use that, oh, actually I guess that one doesn't. It must be a different one. This must go on that. And this is paper that I'm probably never going to use. In fact, I'm not even sure why I got it. I think it was like a Tuesday morning thing, and it was such a good deal I couldn't pass it up, but you know, I have no idea what I would use it for. So for instance, look at that. I mean, you can't even tell what the pattern was, right? And you could use that. Let's try another one. Let's try the circles. Okay. And really, you can, I mean, the amount of stuff you can get out of that. Now here's one. This is a green on that side. This is this on that side. So I did it on the wrong side, but you'll still be able to see what I'm talking about. You'll see even the green looks cool, doesn't it? Get the little foam thing out for this. But anyway, just even look at that pattern, and this is circles, okay? And I'm doing this, these are backwards because I put the die in back. I was so worried about the sandwich working, but you can still tell what I was talking about. But my point is, when you look at that pattern, right? I mean, you can't even tell that those were circles, right? So it's really, even this one, the solid one, okay? You can't tell what it was. So that to me is a great way to use up all of your patterns. Let's do the heart. There we go. Just getting it started is the problem. Oops, that was tight. Okay, so let me show you this. So this was the hearts, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and pull that off. And this is a very intricate kind of little die here, so I'm going to see if I can get, oh gosh, this off without ripping. Where's my little poker thing here? Yeah, it's kind of stuck in the middle a little bit. Let's get that out. All right, let me do this one. All right, so you can see from this, remember we had hearts on there? You can't even really see the pattern. And it makes an interesting, you know, look for that without even, you know, I mean, it just doesn't take a lot. And normally this is not that hard to do, but all right, there we go. Look at that one. Isn't that cool? I mean, that's just a cool pattern made from paper that you probably are not using and, you know, likely are not gonna use. So it allows you to use up some of that paper. Let me show you kind of what I do with these, just so that you can see. Move some of that stuff around. I don't want to lose my dies. Let me show you kind of what I am working on. Whenever I'm making my journals, my boho journals or whatever, they're pretty colorful, so that kind of stuff really works well in them. And so let me just get a couple of these out here. I don't know which one I'm going to use, so we shall see. So what I will do is let's see, I'll find a page here. There's all different kind of pages that we could do this on. Like here, for instance, you have this page. And even though that's kind of cool right there, or here, I could take, you know, one of these. Okay, so this might look good there. I'll look at the colors and see, okay, well that might look good. Or this might look good. I think that looks good. Or I could take, let me see if I can find something else. I could take, you know, something like this. Oh, I kind of like that purple. That would be pretty there. That one. You know, okay, so it's a little bright for me there. So what I might do is I might take, for instance, I might take my my vintage photo and go over that. And I'm just going to make it look a little bit more worn. Okay. And actually, what I might do is, this is a pocket, so I'm going to go ahead and fold that down, get my bone folder, so I know where I'm going to put it. And honestly, this is really a great way to decorate your journal and use up your paper. And so I'm going to make, here, move that aside. I'm going to make a pocket out of that. But that would go right here, okay? And see how cool that looks? So now, what I'm going to do though is I don't just do that. I would take maybe some bling, like I have this. Look at some of the other colors. So let's just say, I'm going to go ahead and just do this for speed's sake here. And I could put that in the middle. I don't know if the whole thing comes off all in one piece or not. Oh, good, it does. And if the glue's good, I'll just use the glue that comes with it, but right? So I could put that there. I could take like some of this other stuff and put it on there. I don't know if I'm going to put anything else. I might just put that. Let's see. Let's see how that's going to look. A lot of times I might put something down there. So this is a great way to really add a lot to your journals with using just stuff that, you know, maybe you normally wouldn't be using. I don't think I want to put the big stuff. I want to put the little one on there. And I'm going to have to guess how long I need it. So I'm going to say right here. It's probably a little bit too long, but that's okay. And I'm going to put that right here. Right up. I didn't do it long enough. That's okay. I can add a couple more on there. Right? Oh, I did that crooked. That's okay. That's close enough. And I'm going to add, what, 2 or 3 more on. Right? That looks like 2 more. Take that one off. All right, so then I'm probably going to put a little ink on this because you're going to be able to see the white, and I don't want it to be that white. But this just to me is a great way to not only use the stuff that you have, but to also really embellish your journal. I mean, I love doing this. I get to play with my blingy stuff. So that is going to go right there. Hope that's straight. So there we go. We put this little pocket on, and this is made from probably paper that I wouldn't normally use in my journals. It really makes it, you know, stand out. So we've got a nice little pocket. So that would go like that, right? And let's just say on this side we wanted to do something. Look at this piece right here. I mean, okay, so I don't think I want to cover those up, but maybe I want to put something up here. And remember, that's what we just did. And I actually don't think that that's too bright the way it is. So I could put that on there, and even though this is a really pretty page by itself, we're just going to add some more dimension to it. Or look, see here, we have this on the other side. We could do that. We have this one we could put on top. This might be even better. I think I like this one better. So all we would do is, on this one, I'm just gonna make this look a little bit more vintage, and I'm just gonna go like that. And then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to put this on my hand. Actually, I think I'm going to use my glue stick on this. Let me try that. I'm going to use my glue stick because I think on this kind of stuff, my glue stick, any kind of lace like that, I think my glue stick actually works better. And I'm just going to take glue stick and put it on my hand, and then that will come on here. So it will go all the way across. Okay. And then I'm going to put this across the top, right? Maybe I'll just split the difference and put that in the middle and cut off the edges. Okay, that looks kind of cool. So here we go. Oh, that needs to go up a little bit higher on that side. This can go down a little bit. Here we go. All right, and then so anyway, then all I've done is I've added just that little piece just to decorate that page a little. And if you wanted to, you could definitely put stuff on there too. You could put something across the top. I don't know, let's see. That could be pretty. Let's try that. And I don't know how far we need to go. Let's just say we put this across here in the middle. Right? So we're not actually adding lace or trim, but we're adding something that looks similar. Okay. And that added that much more decoration to that page. You know, it didn't, you know, it's not a pocket or anything, but it makes it really pretty. And so that's kind of how I do it. I do it similar to that. So anyway, that is kind of what I do with these, and I just kind of wanted to give you guys an idea of what I do with my little my papers, and it really does help dwindle down some of your paper. I mean, I could go on and on with these all day, but for the most part, that's it, guys. That's all I have for today, and hopefully I'll see y'all again soon. Bye bye.